joined by Coach O'Brien once again. Coach, if you had to describe your coaching style to someone who doesn't know you, what would you say?
Well, I'm fair. I'm definitely intense, especially, in the football environment, on the practice field, during games. But, I want to give guys a chance, definitely here, to prove themselves to our staff. And we're going to do a good job of teaching them the systems that we want to run. And we're going to be very fair about it. But we're going to be a very competitive team, both amongst ourselves and then obviously out on the field.
What's your offensive philosophy?
It's a game plan offense. So people ask me all the time, what does that mean? What we're going to do is evaluate our team when we get in here as soon as we can, which probably won't happen until after recruiting. We'll have to start a little bit of that in this next phase here, but really we're going to start grinding that out after recruiting. But it's a game plan offense where we take our players, we look at what the defense is doing, and we put our players in the best position to make plays against that defense. So it's a multiple formation, multiple personnel, using a lot of different players in a lot of different areas. And, it takes a smart, instinctive player to play in this system at every position. But we're gonna do a good job of teaching it to our guys and getting them going on it.
On the offensive staff front, what are you looking for in those guys to be able to do those things?
These are guys that have worked with me in the past, more than likely, and these are guys that have a foundation of the system we want to run. I'll implement it, and I'll teach it to the offense, and then these guys will go out and kind of reiterate some of the things we're doing, and then be specific to the positions that they're coaching.
On the defensive side of the ball, Penn State obviously has a long tradition in defensive success. What is your philosophy on defense? Yeah,
again, they do, and we're going to try to continue that. We've already heard that we have a really good front seven coming back, so we'll have to evaluate that for ourselves, but that's the word on the street. But again, we're going to be a multiple look defense. So the best defenses that I've ever gone against are the ones that change it up on every snap. The ones that keep you guessing, keep you on your heels. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to play a little bit of man coverage. We're going to play some zone coverage. We're going to blitz zone. We're going to blitz man. We're going to change the front. Quite often we're going to go from an odd front to a four-down front. We're going to play what we call a bear front. So we're going to be an attacking style defense, and I can't wait to show our guys what we're going to do there.
Similarly, on the defensive side of the ball, how does the staff fit into that picture?
Again, guys that believe in what we're talking about here, guys that have worked with me in the past and run that type of defense. So, not getting into the specifics of the staff right now just because we want to announce that at one time, but guys that have been around me and know what type of defense we want to run.
How challenging do you think it's going to be to put those things that you just talked about onto the field with a group of players that are coming back?
I think, it's always a challenge when there's a transition and you're working with a new group of guys, and there's a learning process there. So within the rules, when we can meet with these guys and get going and teach them the systems that we want to run, and, including special teams, because special teams is a huge part of what we're going to do. If we can teach them all three phases as soon as we can get going on that, it's just over time they begin to learn through repetition what we want and repetition of what they're seeing too. So I think it's just a matter of grinding it out, putting it out on the practice field, correcting mistakes, going back, finding out how to do it a better way, and just keep working at it.
Talk about the process of what it's going to be like when you evaluate the current players. Touched on it a little bit yesterday. What are you going to do? Right.
I think that's a great question. The number one thing we'll do is watch the games and watch the games that they've played in, and make sure that we watch them in different situations. Red area, third down, 2-minute, 4-minute offense. Going to evaluate every position. We'll have a definite system of how we grade these players, where they fit into the different style of player that we want. But the one thing I want to make clear is, and I'm going to make this clear to the team today, is we're not coming in here and just bringing in our own new recruits. We're here now. This is our family. These players are our players, and we can't wait to coach them. So it's not like we're saying, hey, these aren't our players. These were their players. I want to make that really clear. These players that are here now are our players. We're a family, and we've got to start going in the right direction, the direction that we want to go.
You've been on a coaching staff for 19 seasons, but never a head coach. What types of challenges comes with that?
Yeah, there's going to be a certain amount of learning on the job. There's no question about that, but we're going to have a very strong staff. I really believe in a situation like this, the more you can surround yourself with strong people that have either been head coaches or been in prominent positions in organizations and football programs, I think that you can't go wrong doing it that way. So, I'm a fast learner, and I have some really good ideas of how we want to do things, but again, I'll have a lot of good people around me to help me too.
You work with one of the best in the game in Tom Brady right now. What types of characteristics does he possess that you'd like to see Penn State quarterbacks have in the future?
Well, number one, he's a leader. He's the leader of the football team, and he does that by leading in the locker room, off the field, on the field. He leads all the time by his work ethic. He's first in and last to leave, and that's number one. Number two, he's extremely intelligent. He has an incredible memory. He can remember plays from his rookie year, and as well as plays that he just ran yesterday. So that's a big part of playing quarterback in this system. And then he has an incredible ability to understand what he sees on tape, what he learns in the meetings, and apply it to the field in a split second. So, again, is Tom Brady walking through the door every day here? No, I understand that. I really do. But I believe we've got some smart guys here right now on the current roster, and I know that we're recruiting some really good guys right now. So, again, the next Tom Brady might be out there, but we've got to do a good job of coaching those guys and getting them doing it the way we want them to do it.
When you hit the recruiting trail, you and the staff, what's going to be the message to those players?
I think the number one message is what type of program we want to be. And it's going to be a program of integrity. It's going to be a program of honesty. It's going to be a program of extremely hard work. It's going to be a program that's going to make Penn State people very proud. We want to be a tough, physical, smart football team on the field, and then off the field we want to make sure that we're going to class and earning our degree, so that when we're done at Penn State, whether we play pro football or not, we can have a meaningful life and contribute to society in a meaningful way.
When you worked at Georgia Tech, Maryland, obviously with the Patriots, some pretty big mentors in terms of the coaching world. Talk about some of those guys and what they've meant to your career.
Yeah, I've worked for a lot of guys, but specifically there, George O'Leary, can't thank him enough for promoted me all the way through. I was a GA, I was a position coach, I was a recruiting coordinator, I was an offensive coordinator. I worked at it. I earned it, but he was able to promote me, and I really thank him for doing that, and he means a lot to me. I learned a lot about fielding a tough football team, a team that was smart, and that's a lot of the things I learned from George. And then Ralph, we really worked well together because we had very similar offensive philosophies, multiple offense, creativity, keep the defense guessing, and he's a guy that taught me a lot about offense, and I owe him a lot too.
Bill Belichick, what's it been like working for him?
Well, again, he's going to go down as one of the best, if not the best, in coaching, and so it's been a privilege to work for him, and he's been great through this whole process. And there's, we don't have enough time in the day to explain everything that he's done for me and what I've learned from him, but he's been great, and he'll be a friend and a mentor, my whole career.
In terms of, as you evaluate the talent, what's the process like from when you evaluate to leading into spring practice to make sure that you get the things that you want to get done in that window when you're able to meet with the team?
Yeah, sure. I think, again, we've got to watch games. Then we've got to watch these guys. We've got to cut the film up. We've got to watch them in different situations. We've got to watch them in the weight room. We've got to watch them in our winter workouts when we start doing that after signing day that leads up to spring practice, how they move, what they're good at, what they're not very good at, where they can improve, and then how they fit in our systems. So, what is this tight end? Is he a Y tight end or is he an F tight end? How does he fit? What do we think he can do once we put him in that position? And it's a lot of cross-checking, a lot of dialogue, a lot of, documentation to make sure that we're doing these kids the right way, meaning putting them in the right position where they can really, really have a chance to succeed. So it's an interesting process. It's a lot of work, but we'll get going on it as soon as we can.
In terms of the staff, you said on Saturday Larry Johnson will be joining you. What did you see in Larry?
I was, first of all, I can't tell you how many people from the day I got here on the campus spoke very highly of him and what he's meant to the program and what he's meant to the players that he's coached and the type of defensive lines that he's coached here and been a part of these great defenses. So then I was able to meet him, and we had a good conversation, about a half-an-hour conversation about what he felt was important to him, what I felt was important to me, and it seemed like there was no doubt that we could work together and that he was going to be loyal to what I wanted him to do as far as coaching-wise and recruiting and things like that, and that I was going to stand by him with some of the things that he talked about, and I think we're going to work really, really well together.
Pennsylvania is obviously a hotbed for high school football. What are your thoughts on the state and the talent that's inside the borders?
Yeah, I'm telling you, the first thing that we all have to understand here as we come in is we've got to take care of Pennsylvania. I met with 25 of the best Pennsylvania coaches here yesterday who were voting on the Big 33 game, and had a great meeting with them. And just talk to them about being honest and open and look, we're going to recruit your guys. We want Pennsylvania kids here. I think that's how you build a team. You have a bunch of guys from a similar area, similar backgrounds, where their parents can come watch them play. And that's going to be a big part of what we do is recruiting Pennsylvania. every coach on the staff will have an area in Pennsylvania recruiting.
I'm sure it's going to be a busy time with the juggling between the Patriots and Penn State. What excites you about this process?
You know, it's very exciting because, you know, at the time when you have your first head coaching job at one of the jewels of college football, and then you have a chance to win a Super Bowl with some guys that you really care about, it's an exciting time, and it's going to be tough. But I think I have some really good people around me that are going to help me, and I'm going to work my butt off to do it the right way, and hopefully we end the season well the way we wanted at the Patriots, and then get going with Penn State.
Your first 24 hours on the job, talk about what it was like, what the response was like, and maybe share a couple stories about talking to people.
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, I'll tell you, just the receptions at the basketball games, the women's game yesterday, walking out on the court, and then today in the Indiana game, Penn State playing Indiana, and the reception from the students, how loud it was, and you know, they're chanting my name. I'm saying, God, we haven't even won a game here yet. But you know, it's incredible, and you can tell that it's a really tight-knit community. But I'll tell you a funny story. Where I'm staying, there's a little front porch. You know, it's on kind of a side street near a golf course, and a lot of people are jogging by and you know, walking by, and a lot of different types of people are there. And so I just go out on the front porch to get some fresh air. I'm on the phone, I'm talking. I can't tell you how many people came by and said, "Hey, coach, go coach, we're behind you, coach," and all these things. So it's overwhelming at times, you know, but it's a special place, and we're going to do everything we can do to keep the pride in this program the way it's been and build on it.
Coach, again, we greatly appreciate your time, and best of luck in this process.
Great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.